So Matthew, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Colin son-in-law, married to Anna. I live in Aberdeen and I'm a mechanical engineer.
And were you brought up as a Christian?
No, I wasn't. Only really went to church with school for Easter services and Christmas services and that kind of thing. I was never really convinced by it and was never really interested in it and couldn't see how it would kind of benefit my life at all. But I had been going to church for a couple of years with Anna just to kind of support her because I knew how important it was to her. But yeah, even after going with her for a couple of years, I was never really convinced by it at all.
So what changed? What convinced you?
So I was feeling down and I picked up a book called Real Christian. I was wanting to read something to kind of take my mind off what was going on. And when I was reading the book, I got to a part about how to get God to reveal himself to you. And it basically said that you should pray for him to do that while you're reading a Bible. But I didn't have a Bible at that point, so I was like, I thought I'd just do it while I was reading that book. And I did that, and then, got to a section about the resurrection, and everything just seemed to click and make sense, and I kind of just believed, was a Christian. But the resurrection is kind of like the central point of Christianity, and the historical evidence and the facts and that kind of thing just seemed to line up for me. But the main part of that, I think, was that if it was untrue, how easily the Romans and Jews could have covered it up, because it would have been in their best interest to kind of hide it and cover it up. But they couldn't, because the truth kind of shone through. But that's just like one of the big parts of why I became a Christian. But there are like a lot of other kind of factors to it as well that you could like look into yourself. But I could never really describe how like big a change it was, because it was like one minute I went from like just not believing in it at all to the next I was like Christian. Like it was just very like night and day, like just complete change. But after that happened, I went to an evening service and with Anna and met my friend there, and I prayed with him about it. And then after that, I met up every week with him to do a Bible study and things like that. And my faith kind of continued to grow. And then a year after that, I got baptized, knowing that I was forgiven for my sins and saved from death.
Okay. So, do you think you changed after becoming a Christian?
Yeah, I think I've changed like massively. I think like in everyday life, I became a lot more patient and would get like less annoyed at like little things that used to annoy me all the time and things like that. And I was much more patient with that kind of stuff. And I was also like a lot less focused on money and things. I used to be really focused on that, and that kind of was a big change in me. But I also like had like a good kind of like whenever I was like uncertain about anything now, I know that like Christ has a plan for me, and that God just has a plan, and that's like a real comfort when you feel things are uncertain and stuff like that. And I also kind of have like a confidence. I know that this isn't it, that there's like a life after this, and that we are forgiven for what we've done wrong, which is a great comfort.
So what would you say to anyone who is thinking about Christianity but isn't sure?
Say just like look into it, find a book about it or the Bible, find anything, just start reading it, ask your friends questions, ask your family questions, pray to God about it. It's a big part as well. And just kind of like look at the evidence for yourself, and if God will reveal himself to you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Matthew. It's been really great to hear your story.